Welcome to Wyoming Country Living, where the skies stretch wide, the porch is always open, and the critters just keep coming. We're Kim and Chris, empty nesters who traded East Coast hustle for the wild peace of Wyoming. Each week, we're tackling homestead projects, wrangling our growing animal crew, and learning to live the country life one adventure at a time. Be sure to hit that like button and follow along so you don't miss a moment. And stick around till the end for our front porch question of the week. We're saving you a seat. O'clock in the afternoon and we're crowing. Poor Nugget, under all these boys. They're all vying for her attention. Coco is really pretty, aren't you, Coco? Pretty coloring. So is Comet. Look at those green iridescent feathers on him. You don't say. Look what we got. I went to let Nugget out of her coop this morning and thought, oh, maybe I should check for eggs. And lo and behold, Nugget gave us the first egg. Look how pretty it is. It's teeny tiny, but it's pretty and it's green. I'm so excited. Up next is creating the dividers for the nesting box for the big coop. I need a total of 3 dividers. One that's going to cut it in half to separate the nesting boxes from the storage, and then 2 additional ones that will separate the space into 3 separate nesting boxes. So I plan to use USB. I am going to try to make the main divider separating the nesting box from the storage first. And if it turns out okay, I should be able to use it as a stencil for the other 2. All right, for some reason, the breaker was tripped in the garage on my outlet there. Good thing the chicks aren't still using heat. I'm gonna go check this before I do anything else. Chocolate, peanut butter. Okay, so the shape is right. Now what I have to do is and I'll show you when we go over, but because of the way we had to position the nesting box, there's like a drop down into the nesting boxes. And so there's a couple 2x4s right here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this saw, which I think is a reciprocating saw, but I always get that wrong. Oh no, this is a jigsaw. I'm gonna use this jigsaw and just kind of make a little rounded section here so that it can sit over the 2x4s that are there. Okay, so that's what it looks like. Let's go see if it fits.
Without saying, well, how did he get it done? They'll say he's not. They'll say he's actually it's still Hank Aaron. It's not.
Well, I don't think that's far enough.
The opinion that Hank Aaron is still the true home run king. And I think a lot of people share that, Donnie. Do you think limits that Michigan should be stripped of this title? Is it proven, by the way? Because I haven't read the entire thing. Was a lot of the cheating in that year? Has it been traced to that national championship year? And if so, should they be?
All right, need to cut that to make it a little more rectangle as opposed to round.
Would you slap? I thought I saw something else there, but yeah, like a 3 game suspension. It's not this.
Yeah, we'll play all of the like bad teams that every team plays the first 3 weeks of the season, and they'll be fine. Get out of that 3-0, and they'll be like, look at
Another ½ inch. That'll be good. All right, one more check, and then I'll use it as my stencil.
on that field with you week 1 after you know everything.
This one definitely looks nicer. Gonna go check this one.
Like they did in the killer.
I remember people.
That one fits spectacularly. One more.
This guy.
All right, let's go put all 3 in.
I mean, winning cures every.
All right, so they fit, and they're doing exactly what I want them to do, which is going to be to separate this into 3 separate nesting boxes. I just need to determine what I can use to brace them. So I think I could probably get some of those just like corner brackets and put on the inside of both sides. And that should suffice. But of course, it means a trip to town, which I'm not planning to do until Monday. And it's Friday afternoon. So, but that probably makes the most sense. All right, on to the next part. So now I'm going to measure this hole that we left when we trimmed off the OSB, which in retrospect, I should have just left the OSB, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut 3 holes for the chickens to get into the nesting boxes. I think. I don't know. Maybe I'll leave it open. I have to think about that. I might leave it open, which means that I'm going to transition to working on the storage under this litter shelf, and it should be a relatively quick project. Once I get that done, the only remaining thing I have to do is touch up the paint. I did get additional paint, and determine if I'm going to cover this. And I still haven't decided. So I'm going to start working on the storage under the litter shelf. It's not often that you hear me say that I hope this storm actually hits us today. So there's already one storm that went north that will not catch us today. But I'm thinking this one coming from that direction, just based on how the wind is, this one may end up coming. My reason for actually wanting the rain today is I have been waging war on my sandburrs in the yard. And if it rains, it will just make them, they're actually fairly easy to pull up. I'm going to see if I can find one here. I know there are on my way back. So for example, right here, so this is one plant, and I don't have gloves on right now, but if it rains, I should be able to go around with my gloves and just pull up the individual plants. What I really want to try to do is to get as many of these while they are still green. And so even when the ground is dry, I can generally get most of the plants up, but they are starting to dry out. And that's what we don't want to have happen, because as they dry out, each of those burrs is an individual seed. So if it rains, I can at least go in these areas that we frequent, which is to and from the coop, right? Like there's more. So I keep finding them as I go back and forth. Now, this is not inundated the way the front yard is. The front yard is almost entirely sandburrs. So in about the next couple of weeks, we'll be avoiding that area until spring, when we either dig it up or pay somebody to come. But at least on my trips back and forth to the coop, I'm finding, whoops, in the shadow there, I'm finding individual plants that if it rains, I can go around and pull as many of those as possible. I did spend some significant time in the dog fenced area, not yesterday, but the day before, and pulled up a great many of them, because these guys with all their hair will collect a lot of those burrs in the next couple of weeks. So I'm just doing as much on this end as I can to try to alleviate some of the pain we felt last fall and winter. This is for the removable shelf underneath the litter. Kind of tiny because I'm supposed to create doors in those gaps. And I'm also trying to use the teeny tiny nail gun since Chris isn't here, and I don't like the big one. So we'll see how this works. Watch your nose. That works good enough. Not going to be any pressure on that. So here's the removable wall. I'm supposed to make a door for this little hole and this little hole, but that doesn't make a lot of sense to me if the whole wall is going to be removable. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and make sure that it fits in the space that it's allocated for. And then I'm just going to cover those holes with hardware cloth, because if the whole wall comes off, then why wouldn't I just make that whole thing either slide up or pull out or be removed, rather than working and messing with two little doors. So I'm going to go see if it works, and if it does, that's exactly what I'm going to do. Okay, so it fits perfectly. And again, it calls for two little doors, but because of how far back it goes, and the interesting thing about that is I actually shortened this by about 6 inches. It was technically supposed to come out to about here, and that's a lot of excess space to get into and clean. So I could do one of two things. I could just put some barrel bolts here and here to attach it, and then when I want to get in, right? Just move it. Or I suppose I could put hinges, and when I want to get into it, I could hinge it up. So if I choose to do that and hinge it up, I would need something to secure it when it's up. But if I'm gonna put baby chicks in there, that probably makes the most sense, because then I can just hinge it up, get in there, put food and water, and then put it back in place. There should be enough clearance for the hinges. And I could put them right above those. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. First I gotta do the hardware cloth. Rip has decided he's about over my chicken coop plans. Thankfully, these are only the plans for the storage under the nesting box, because he had a good time shredding them as I was picking sandburrs. So, good thing that's finished. The only thing I have yet to do, I got it painted, put the hardware cloth on, and then it will be ready to install tomorrow. Getting closer and closer to completion. So the litter shelf, the roosting bars in this little storage / brooding area under the nesting box are complete. So right now I have the wall flipped up. I have it secured here with an eye hook. So it was designed to actually be a removable wall, so that when you had to clean it, you could just take the wall out. I thought about doing that, but because I have a couple of different hinges left over, I just decided to put the hinges on, because as I need to clean under there, or as I need to get the supplies under there, I can just hinge it up. And then it could unhook and it goes down. Two slight problems here. First one, pretty obvious. I put the hardware cloth on the wrong side. And while I could probably fix that, I'm not going to lose sleep over it, because if there's chicks inside, maybe it's better that it's on the outside. But I put it on that side because the other side is prettier. But when I tried to put it in the space, it didn't fit. So I had to flip it around, and this is how it fits. My other error is here, in that the first time I put that hinge on, it was stuck. And so I had to adjust the hinge a little bit, and now it's not stuck, but it doesn't quite go in. So I'm not going to lose sleep over it, because there's not going to be chicks in there this spring, or this fall rather. Worst case scenario, if I don't like that, I could put like a barrel bolt there and drill into the floor and attach it that way. But I'm not worried about it. Chicks aren't going to be able to get in there, or if there's chicks inside, they won't be able to push out. So yeah, right now it will probably just be storage. But I don't even know if I need it for storage, because I have that storage out in the nesting box. But then the litter shelf folds down, so that when it's time to clean out, I can just put that down flat and dust it out. So what I need to do next is just secure those dividers for the nesting boxes. I plan to accomplish that tomorrow and create my ladder for the chicks to get up to. Well, that's really not that high, but I'm going to give them a ladder nonetheless. I bought 2 little hooks to hook onto the litter shelf for it to stay secure. So yeah, so I have the ladder and securing those nesting box dividers, and the inside will be done. And as soon as Chris gets home, we can move the girls in. All right, a little bit of chaos here behind me. This is going to be my first attempt at using this table saw. I'm trying to cut these 1x2s in half so that I can make channels inside the nesting box. I've never used a table saw before. I've watched Chris do it tons of times. I'm gonna give it a go. I do need to get something that'll push these pieces through. There's a little bit of chaos behind me because I have the goats out free ranging, letting them get some of the other grass outside of their pen. And the dogs are none too pleased about that. So this 1 1/4, I'm gonna make it there and think that's about halfway. It doesn't have to be perfect, it's just a channel to keep the nesting boxes in. All right, here goes. Definitely not in the middle. Whatever, I'll finish this one. And I'm guessing this isn't up high enough. No, let's make it lower. Alright, I'll just try it. Leave the goats alone. Alright, look at that. So, not quite level or even. Please stop. Okay, the goats may have to go back inside. Alright, I want to make this more that way. I want to try this one. Goaties. Alright, I'll be back. Come on, let's go. This dog is going to get you. Alright, well that's pretty clever. I wanted to do this for a couple of projects, but was afraid of the saw. Now I know what I'm doing. Huh. I gotta plug the air compressor in, let it get charged, and I can make the ladder. I bought special little hooks that I'm gonna try to attach it to the litter shelf. We're one step closer. I cut the rungs for the ladder out of the same stuff that I used for the channels for the nesting boxes. And before I haul the nail gun out to the coop, figured I'd build the ladder. Wasn't gonna put one near the top here, but I have to attach the hooks with some screws that are thicker than the plywood. So just so the screws don't come up through the plywood, I thought I'd attach a step there. I did not measure these, I just kind of eyeballed them. Equidistance apart. And those nails are probably longer. So we'll need to tack them down. Okay. These hooks that I bought to attach to the litter shelf, what I had envisioned was kind of like the hooks that pull ladders have so that it latches on. I don't know if these will work. They were like, I don't know, $3.50 at Menards. So I figure even if they don't work, it's not that big of an investment. I don't know why it wouldn't work, but you never know. Weight of the chickens is not super cumbersome. All right, I'm going to try this without pre-drilling the hole, but that never goes well for me, but it does. Oh, not too bad. seems like it should work. All right, I'm gonna get everything packed up, walk it over to the coop, and then try to put those channels for the dividers for the nesting box and finish up the coop once and for all. So the ladder is exactly as I had hoped it would be. I have these hooks. The only thing, and again, chickens don't weigh a whole lot, but actually I don't know that I need to. I was gonna say maybe I need to secure this shelf that flips down for cleaning. Maybe I need to secure it with an eye hook, but I don't know that I need to. We'll see how this goes. But then the nice thing about this is when I need to clean out or get to that storage compartment, that can be removed and that could be taken out and power washed for cleaning. All right, now I'm going to try these channels for the nesting boxes. We did get our first egg today, so Nugget should be thrilled to come in, actually have legit nice little nesting boxes. It should be good enough to see. I'm going to do the one in the middle first. That will then allow me to measure the space that I have for the other two to make two, or three rather, nesting boxes that are the same width. Although all the reading that I have done says that I really only use one or two anyway. Okay, pretty pleased with that. Super straight. Don't think the chickens care. So this is perfect for storage. Their food in there. We got some more barrel bolts because we ran out last weekend. We gotta put those up, although I think I bought the wrong size. I have to go check that. And then I could reach in and grab the eggs. Good stuff.